This is Beach Talk Radio.
Good morning, Mr. and Mrs. America, and all ships at sea. This is your captain speaking, Mean Gene. Mean Gene. The following will be a test of the ship's whistle, the sonar alarm, the cable alarm, and the atomic attack alarm.
Ladies and gentlemen, with the Gulf of Mexico as their backdrop, broadcasting live from the Margaritaville Resort on Fort Myers Beach, here are the hosts of the dinkiest podcast in America, Kim and Ed Ryan.
Thank you very much. Thank you all for coming to Margaritaville on the 13th annual Putt Pub Weekend here in Fort Myers Beach, and we'll be talking a little bit more about that later on with folks from the Fort Myers Beach Women's Club. The beach is rocking down at Bayside Park with the registration and all the different locations, restaurants, and bars that have a hole lined up.
Yes, and thankfully the weather really did a 180 because this morning you couldn't see a thing. There was so much fog.
Yep.
And now the fog has lifted. If only this happened, a couple of weeks ago, but it's beautiful now.
Yeah. When I saw
warm,
when I saw that fog this morning, I thought it's a perfect opportunity to blow off some fireworks here on Fort Myers Beach.
Oh my Lord.
No, we want to say, come on down to the beach if you can. It turned out to be a beautiful day. The sun is out and the temperature is right about 70 degrees. And if I have to look at you with a shirt off for the entire show, it's totally disturbing. Now, Bob,
our friend Bob is here from
Bob
Ohio.
is from Cincinnati, and he comes down twice a year. Last time he was here, I can't believe it's been a year since he was here last time. He hung out at the pool.
Yep.
And
it was hot.
Yeah, and it's his 60th birthday on Monday. 60
yep.
years old, dude. You look 80.
Oh, stop.
No, toward the end of the show, we're going to have Bob on to wish him a happy birthday. So don't go getting lost and hanging out at the pool again.
Don't go getting sunburned either.
Yeah. And I do want to say thank you to Lori Russell. If you missed the walk around this morning, we did a walk around at the Marina Village, which is at Snug Harbor. Fortunately, like you were saying, it was a little bit foggy this morning. So
you should go do it now.
Yeah, we're going to go back at one point so you can see the view from this. I don't know. It felt like it was 30 stories in the air, but it was only 5 floors up. And she's looking over the edge, and I'm back by the wall like this, saying, "Lori, this is way high up here. I don't like how high it is." But they have a nice hot tub on the top of a building there, and it's a timeshare, and they're good to go over there by Snug Harbor. So, and don't forget, tomorrow is Sunday brunch with the mayor at 10 o'clock. We're going to be at Wahoo Willie's. And when I was coming over the bridge this morning, people I know, sit down.
Yes, you got the times right because you've been messing that up.
I did. Last weekend, I said the show with the mayor was at 11 o'clock. So we had 2 people show up 10 minutes to 11 thinking they were going to be early for the show. And it was 50 minutes into the show because it actually starts at 10 o'clock on Sunday. I came over the bridge this morning and there were 4 lights on. 4 lights on the bridge.
Oh, that's good.
They were on the north side of the bridge. And so it looks like they're making progress to getting the lights back on the bridge.
Good.
So.
Then I will hush my mouth. But could you see? Or was it dark?
It was kind of light out and kind of foggy. So it was in between the time.
But 4 is better than 0.
That's right. They're making progress.
Not like our street. Holy moly.
Wow.
We got new lights and on our little dinky street, and you could land a jet on there now. I mean.
They need to go to the 30 light bulb instead of the 110.
I mean, it doesn't really.
Super
thankfully, it's not coming in our house, but I think the houses that are on the other side, they're probably like,
bright.
woo.
Yeah.
All
right.
We're never happy.
So the Florida delegation met, and if you don't.
Oh, wait. I have this.
Come on, dear. We got a show to do here.
I know, but.
4 minutes after 11
Well,
already.
if you would keep it short. I just have to thank, she probably doesn't watch anymore because I was so rude and never thanked her.
Very rude.
Leanne Chevalier. I probably messed your name up, Leanne, but Leanne sent me a sweatshirt that it has the saying on it that you always say. And so I haven't worn it on the show because it's a little racy, the saying, what that the hats are on. So that
I have no idea what
got
she's
the hats
talking about.
on.
The dumbassery thing?
Yeah, but it's the other one.
You're afraid to say the word because you're going to get in trouble at work
I'm
or
not gonna
something?
get in trouble, but I mean, it's just, but thank you, Leanne. I wear it around the house.
No idea what you're talking about. I've been taking NyQuil all week because I had a cold. And when I take NyQuil and I have dreams about you, you're a very mean person. Like, I don't know why it is when I take NyQuil, you're a very mean person. It's like
I think
I
reality
don't know.
is creeping in.
It's unbelievable how the different ways you figure out how to chop me up during dreams when I take NyQuil. So it's crazy. So feeling much better now.
And
Thank you all for your.
is I said, he's taking the NyQuil. I said, well, I hope you're not taking any other medication because NyQuil, those multi-symptom medicines have everything in them. He's like, oh yeah, no, I'm pounding the Advil too. I'm like, oh, okay.
Because my back was killing me because all I've been doing is laying on the couch. So my back hurts.
When your eyes are all yellow, I'll know that jaundice is setting in and your liver is shutting down.
All righty. So I think it was last week or recently, the Southwest Florida delegation, the Lee County delegation met, and that includes all the House and Senate representatives for Lee County, and I think it's Collier County even. Is there some Collier County in there? And they talk about the bills that they listen to a lot of public comment. 44 people spoke on the single member district, but they listened to public comment. They listened to the mayor. Dan went down there. The mayor Sanibel. They all go and it's basically they kiss butt, thanking them all for how much money they sent down from the state with the recent storm activity. But they also talk about different bills that they're thinking about passing. And for the last couple of years, Representative Anna Botan has been trying to do two things. He's been trying to merge the Fort Myers fire district with other fire districts, but he's also been trying to merge the Lee County Mosquito Board district or Lee County Mosquito District with the Fort Myers Beach Mosquito District. And some of you out there may not know, you have your own, on Fort Myers Beach, you have your own mosquito district, which is not part of the town council. It's not part of the town. It's a completely separate taxing district. And so Adam is on this mission to merge these special districts so there aren't so many. His theory is that fewer districts will save taxpayer money statewide, not just in different areas. So what we wanted to do is try and get the facts out there about, you're just totally distracting me.
I'm just
the
saying
facts out there
Tom and John
about the two districts. And to do that, we have invited folks from the Lee County Mosquito District to come on. And the executive director, David, is here along with Brian. Brian, for our old friend who was temporarily running for Lee County Board, is on the Mosquito District Board. So it's in good hands over there. So big hand for David and Brian. And we're going to get some facts out there about the mosquitoes. And you know what?
I see you really struggling too to keep it all straight.
Yeah. Well, the thing is too is that when people ask, "What's your show going to be out today?" and I say mosquitoes, they're like, "Oh, really? That sounds exciting." But really, it's important to know what's going on. So, first of all, David, tell us about the Mosquito Board District in Lee County, so people know about the organization.
All right, Ed. Good morning. And we're probably the largest mosquito control district in the United States, at least of last counting. We are big because 1/10 of Lee County is protected marsh, and those marshes breed hordes of mosquitoes. Once the summer rains start and the water starts to pool, every last bit of Lee County breeds mosquitoes. So we're a very large district. We've been here since 1958. Before us, there were 4 different mosquito control districts, one here in Fort Myers Beach, one in downtown Fort Myers. Sanibel had one, and one up in, I believe, in Boca Grande. So
now, what happened to the other ones?
I think they were absorbed when the district was set up in 1958.
Gotcha. And Brian, you why are you involved in the mosquito board?
I was elected in 2014.
It's an elected position.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been was first elected in 2014. I've been serving on the board for just a little over 10 years now.
Great.
Yep.
Why?
What got you interested in the mosquito board?
Well, a good friend of mine, Rick Pritchett Advertising, he was been on the board for 20 years prior to that. There was a gentleman, and we have separate districts also. And that gentleman in my particular district back in 2014, he was moving out of town, and they needed someone to run for the office. So I met with Rick, and he spoke to me about it. He said, "Oh, it's a very easy job. You barely meet, no big deal." But I've always been intrigued by not only the aviation part of it, but also the I would say the mosquito side of the things. Having served in the Navy and understanding all the different areas that we have helicopters, we have aircraft, all that kind of stuff, that was pretty fascinating. But Lee County, if it wasn't for air conditioning and mosquito control, there would be hardly anybody living here.
Now, how many different kind of mosquitoes are there?
There's 54 species now.
Stop.
In Florida.
And no, in Lee County, there's about 80 or plus statewide.
Right.
We've identified 5 or 6 new species since about 2017.
Yeah.
So we don't only get invaded by other exotic animals, but every now and then mosquitoes ride in from, I don't know, furniture, tires, waste.
Wasn't me.
Stuff.
Now, is it like the Burmese?
Let me ask, because someone was asking about a striped mosquito that they got stung by that left welts on them. Can you identify that based on that description, sir?
I get these calls all the time. People say, this little black and white mosquito just bit me. Can you tell me what it is? And I say, I can't. But we have striped mosquitoes that breed in these marshes, and when they get off, they come off in the millions, hundreds of millions there. They lay eggs that can overwinter. I guarantee you, these marshes around here have dormant eggs.
Marshes. Explain what
salt marshes.
What is a marsh?
It is a place that where grasses grow. It's different from a swamp. Swamps, you have trees and grasses underneath, and marshes are usually associated with coastal areas, and they're subject to tides. And so when you get king tides and you get other tides, these marshes, the normally dry areas will get wet, and you'll within hours, millions and billions of these eggs will hatch.
So it's that quick. It's not like the water comes in and takes all the larvae out and cleans it all out. As soon as they're out, they're just starting again.
It can happen that way if you get enough water. If you get hurricanes, I was here just in time. I arrived down here in time for Hurricane Irma in 2017, and I don't think we saw any mosquitoes for 2 weeks because everything was just blown off. But when these high tides come and then that water settles and it sits there, then these eggs really come off. Mosquitoes know where to lay them.
Yeah. So when you guys are doing your job, the phone never rings, right? It's because you're taking care of business and there's no mosquitoes. But when the phone's ringing, then you got to step into action. So, are you doing your job?
I think our staff, and I'm very proud of our staff, they're doing an excellent job. I think that they go through and they have the ability to go through not only to do this trapping of mosquitoes and find out what kind of mosquitoes are out there. We have to use certain pesticides just to kill the certain types of mosquitoes. The EPA and the Fish and Wildlife Service, FDA, all have to be approved chemicals for that kind of stuff. So when you have to go through and do that, we're testing. We're actually counting mosquitoes, what type of genus, what kind of species they are.
You're counting them?
They're counting them.
We have these.
That sounds like a tedious job.
Counting mosquitoes.
Yeah.
I don't do that job.
Yeah. But we have people who do that, and they identify the species. They do all those things, and so they're doing a great job at that. And what happens is, after certain rain events, after certain storm events, whatever it is, our crews are out right away to try to determine the hot spots, and then they go through and either truck spray, or they'll use aerial reconnaissance, or they use helicopters or airplanes to go through and spray.
So,
and that's really the kind of the way it's done, either by a truck or from the air.
Don't jump ahead.
I'm just asking him to clarify.
You're right, Kim.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So,
where's the bell? I'm right. He knows the deal.
Okay, just like, I don't know if you know about our show, but she likes to veer off course during the show, so I try to have to reel her back in.
Okay.
So 54 species of mosquitoes.
Right.
Is any one of those types can kill you? Any of them?
Well, the mosquitoes themselves can't kill you unless you're lying passed out on Fort Myers Beach and 10 trillion come off the marsh, and then theoretically
they just eat you.
Exsanguinate you. Yeah. But disease-wise, yes, we have several prominent species that are good vectors of stuff like West Nile virus, St. Louis encephalitis, Eastern equine encephalitis, which is one of the more dangerous, arboviral, which means arthropod-borne virus. We have the mosquitoes that spread dengue, chikungunya, yellow fever,
I
Zika.
hate the yellow
they
fever.
all live here.
I had the
am
yellow fever
safe
once. It was
from
horrible.
yellow fever, so
I am too.
I am safe from
Have you
yellow.
been to
That shot
Africa?
hurt.
I've been vaccinated. I've been to Africa. I used to.
Yes.
I'm also down here from the Navy, and they used to send me everywhere. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I love Africa. We're going back again this summer.
No,
Where are
he
you
didn't.
going?
He didn't go. I was in Kenya and Tanzania.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Or
She's
Tanzania,
climbing
as they
Mount
would like to say.
Kilimanjaro next time she
Well, we're
goes.
going to give it a shot.
Yeah.
We'll see.
She's going with
I'm going to need a lot of money.
with our friends here, the Schoonovers, who smoke 6 packs a day, just to give my wife a head start. So,
That's not
have you ever climbed Kilimanjaro? Yeah,
I've seen it from 35,000 feet, and that was enough. You know, out of the airplane.
Out of an airplane.
Yeah.
So in Lee County, how many airplanes do we own?
We own 6 right now. Well, no, we own 4. We own 4. We had 5 a year ago, but now we're down to 4.
Okay,
And then we have 6 helicopters.
4 airplanes, 6 helicopters, and basically their job is to spray for mosquitoes.
Not only that, but the helicopters are used to put people out in the marsh, say like Estero Bay, to inspect for mosquito breeding. Keep in mind, according to state law, we can't spray the first thing if we don't find the mosquitoes there or the counts aren't high enough, that sort of stuff. The fixed-wing aircraft, those spray adulticides. Almost always they spray at night. And then the helicopters are more commonly seen during the day.
Mhm.
They're either ferrying inspectors out to locations that you can't reach by car where we suspect mosquitoes are breeding, or they put the larvicide out in the marsh and pastures and other areas that need treating.
So how often are they up every day, or is there a certain time of year they go up?
No, they can be up this month. Last December, a year ago, so 13 months ago, it was warm and humid down here. We had fixed-wing aircraft spraying for adult mosquitoes at night over Pine Island, over Sanibel, and then we were doing a lot of larviciding trips. So it just depends on the weather. This year, it feels kind of like winter down here, which
Yeah, it
we're
does.
really happy about.
So, okay, yeah, we're gonna have the women's club on after, so we'll explain what that's all about. These are going to be a raffle item. So you folks out there that are watching are probably wondering why we're talking about the Lee County Mosquito Control District. It's because Adam Botana wants it's called a merger, but what happened was it's going to go to a referendum. If it goes through the Senate and the House, his bill, it's going to go to a referendum in 2026. And the people on Fort Myers Beach will vote whether or not to allow the Lee County Mosquito Control District to take over Fort Myers Beach, and there would be no Fort Myers Beach Mosquito Control District anymore.
But wouldn't it also be Lee County voters too?
Yes.
It's 50% and 50%.
Right. I don't think it's going to be a problem in Lee County.
Well, I'm just
Maybe,
point
but-
of clarification.
Right. So there would be 2 votes.
Everybody gets to vote.
Be 2 votes, and both of them have to be above 50%. And so the reason that we wanted you guys to come on to explain to the voters on Fort Myers Beach, would it be better? Would it be cheaper? Would it be more expensive? Why should they vote in favor of taking it over? I know you spoke at the delegation in favor of taking it over, but first you explained something that I had no idea about. The Fort Myers Beach Mosquito Control District has a $200,000 a year contract with Lee County to do some work down here.
No,
right?
No, sir,
60.
60,000.
I'm sorry. I don't know
60,000.
where that came from. $60,000 a year
Let me get my
contract.
note.
Thank
He
you.
doesn't know.
And what do you do with that contract? What do you do?
Let me just say too, that contract's been in place since like 2003, right?
That's as far back as we know. It may have gone back further than
But
that.
it's
I don't
always
know.
been
We
60.
we don't have records. They don't have records here at the beach. Of course, that was destroyed in that big hurricane.
Right.
And this may have been done back in the day where people said, "Hey, what do you want to charge for the marsh?" "Oh, 60,000. Yeah, sounds good." And they shook hands. That's what we suspect. I don't know.
So
at some
that's been
point,
standing for a long time, though.
for
Yeah.
a long time, and it's the voters of Fort Myers Beach want to keep separate.
Oh, wait. What does that 60,000 get them right now?
Oh, I'm sorry. It gets us treating the 22,000 acre Estero Bay. This includes helicopters, spray time, labor, pilot salary, insurance, everything we have to pay to put the helicopters up in the air or get to the inspectors to remote locations. We also have a marine route that goes through there. We have a guy in I think it's a Carolina skiff or a Boston whaler that goes through there, and he surveys some of the islands of the Estero Bay to see if they're breeding mosquitoes and whether or not we need the larvicide out there.
And so parks, I guess the thing is, it's the Fort Myers Beach Mosquito District includes not just the beach, not just the island, but all of that land over there.
Estero Bay and even actually to the mainland also. There's portions of the mainland that is included in the Fort Myers Beach
And
District.
so who draws up that map? Because that report that I was reading, it said that there's some inconsistencies with the map. Is that?
That's what I've heard, and that's what I reported. I read this in the Balmoral report. Balmoral Group is the ones that were hired by let me see if I can get this right. Office of Program Policy. Is it accountability? No, and a government accountability.
Right,
OPAGA.
OPAGA.
Yeah,
Right.
they're
Well,
the research arm.
Just so everybody knows, the state legislature requires this report to come out every certain number of years about that. And the report is something we shared in one of our newsletters, and we have that report. And the report basically said there wasn't as much accountability, it seemed like, as they wanted there to be. Right? I mean, the executive summary, if you read the first 3 pages, said there's not as much accountability to the taxpayers as there should be. It's a long report. It's 46 or so pages.
Well,
but,
that includes a lot of the appendices.
They're
but
looking
yeah.
when that particular comment goes through not necessarily Lee County or Fort Myers Beach Mosquito Control District. It has to do with all the special districts in the state of Florida. That's what they're trying to have more scrutiny on.
Mhm.
So these two are ones that they see as an opportunity for merger. It's when we look at special districts in general, there's more scrutiny. They want to have, I would say, proper oversight.
Right. Okay. So back to the $60,000 question. You explained exactly what you provide. Could the town of Fort Myers Beach do that work without you?
The
Do
marsh,
they have
I don't know how, unless they're willing to buy a helicopter and stand up a heliport.
What does that cost?
They need, our aircraft, our helicopter now, it's an Airbus A-Star H125.
Of course, I love those.
When we bought them in 2018, they were $3.2 million a piece. Since the pandemic, I think they're about $5 million a piece. Then you have to have a pilot. Then you have to have mechanics. Then you have to have the land to park it on. Then you have to pay insurance and buy the fuel and do the inspections, et cetera.
So one of the things that you said at the delegation meeting was, I think it was Senator Pasadomo asked you, because you haven't raised the rates on the beach.
It's been $60,000 at least since I've been here in 2017.
What's the service worth now?
At least $80,000, because the cost of everything.
You said it was more than that, though.
I thought I heard 120.
Yeah, I thought I heard more than that.
It varies year to year depending upon.
No. What
what's
you
going on.
heard was 2023's estimate.
Right.
We paid because one year is
clarifying this.
one year is not like the next.
All right.
So
Right.
we went back 5 years, and each year it exceeded. 1 year by 5,000, 2 years about 10 to 15. We had another 20,000 year where it cost us 80,000, but in 2023 we spent $118,000 treating this marsh back here.
Okay, so it cost you 118. So what is it worth in 2025 to the folks on Fort Myers Beach? What is the actual cost? What would it be if they were walking into a supermarket and buying it off the shelf?
It's hard to gauge that exact number because depending on the weather, depending on what's going on out there.
Yeah.
I mean, but it's probably a good saying to say, well, probably within 10% or 15% of what we've been seeing for the last 5 years, if you average that. So if you average that over the last 5 years, it's probably between $80,000 to $85,000.
Okay.
So
do you remember the summer of 2023? We were kind of in a drought almost to August.
Mhm.
And then in early September, all the rain started. And that's a very atypical year. Usually the rains start in April, May, or June. And so this shifts, the calendar year and what we're spending. next year it could be $60,000. In 2 years it could be $140,000. I have no idea.
I see. I see. But you did
So
say,
why not can you just raise your rate and they could choose to pay it, or no?
Yes, we can. We can do that, or they can raise their millage rate to generate more money to pay more. I mean, there's all kinds of things we can do.
so it's been 60,000.
Yeah.
It's got to be 60,000 till the next time the taxes pass, because everybody's budgets are in place, right? You can't raise it on them now. I guess you could, right? I mean, how does that work?
Well, so the budgets are set in August and September. There's public hearings, etc. The board votes on it. They settle the budget at a public hearing in late September, and then the new fiscal year comes, which begins October 1st. So we're, we said we need more, and nothing happened. So
David, here's what I don't get.
Yeah.
Because you did say that at the meeting. You said, we told them we needed more, and they said no. And then you were like, well, okay. Right? I mean,
we need more. And look, they just got knocked down flat on their face. I'm not going to kick a dead man.
Gotcha. I guess fair enough. I'm sure they appreciate that. So they can't do the service without you, but you are going to charge more. You also mentioned that you might cancel the contract to Senator Pasadomo.
Well, yeah. I mean, you go in to the tire store, you need 4 tires. They say, sir, it's going to cost you $200 a tire. That's $800. They put the tires on, and then you come back and say, hey, I got $600, here you go.
Right.
I'm not, it's not like we're hurting for money. I just want to make sure we're covered, because again, these are the other side of the county. It's their tax dollars going to spend for mosquito control down here in Fort Myers Beach. So I just want to make sure.
Yeah, and what Dr. Hull is saying is correct. It's important to understand we have constituents throughout the county.
Yeah.
And are we taking away from some of the other constituents in other parts of the county by allowing that to frankly, yes. Because the reality is you're using money from other parts of the budget to accommodate for the shortfall of this existing contract. It's not uncommon for things like this to happen on occasion. I mean, we also go through and we help during the hurricane times. We were also involved with the Emergency Operations Center. And so we're actually, and I don't know if people know that or not, but Lee County Mosquito Control District, we provide helicopter support to the government officials when they're flying around doing assessment. We do all those things.
And yes, we're trying to get that money back too.
Yeah.
Okay,
but those are the things that we do as an agency for the betterment of the overall community. And so that's the important part.
I mean, I think everybody understands it. You're paying $60,000, but one year, $60,000, it might cost you $80,000 to cover that, and one year, maybe it costs a little less. But historically, over the since 2003, obviously costs have been going up. I mean, I think everybody understands that. So you have to kind of expect that you're going to have to pay more for the service.
Right.
And even if the contract was 80, there might be some year that it costs 120. It's not like you're going to come back and say, okay, we need that extra 40. You're going to eat that cost.
What
right?
I would envision is a statement of work or some sort of agreement for a specified period of time, maybe 4 or 5 years, saying, we're going to do this, and this for $80,000 a year. And then if we run into hyperinflation like we did in 2022, maybe we'll have to adjust it after that period. I think it would be a pretty good deal either way for the residents of this Fort Myers Beach Mosquito Control District, should they decide to remain separate.
So let's talk about the tax rates, because I think at the end of the day, everybody's going to vote on whether their taxes are going to go up or not. The taxes for the Fort Myers Beach, it's not really apples and apples, because until last week, of course, I don't live on the beach. People remind me of that all the time. I didn't know that the county was providing a service that could be altered by what you said at the delegation meeting. The taxes on the beach are 0.11 of $1,000 of assessed property value, and the taxes in the county are 0.22. So, and the reason it's at 0.22 is at some point you needed to buy new helicopters or planes or whatever it was, and it was higher than that, but it's coming down.
It's coming down. The year we decided to purchase the helicopters was 2017. I had just arrived. The budget hearings came in that September, and I believe it was for fiscal year 2018, we adopted a millage rate of 0.28, and they have been coming down most years, but not all. I have never gone to full rollback. You know why? Three hurricanes in 7.5 years.
Mhm.
We got to have that reserve.
What's your goal with the tax rate?
We just settled. It's 0.22, and
No,
will going forward is to keep at least rolling back to some degree. Yeah.
It's never going to be 0.11.
I don't
Okay.
know. I doubt it.
Okay.
No,
Yeah.
it won't be. When you consider the population growth, when you consider what's going on in the county, it would be a poor fiscal policy to try to drive that down so far and not have proper reserves, not have proper
Yeah.
operational budgets.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Right.
So if the Fort Myers Beach, if it was a merger in 2026, if they
Right.
voted for it,
Yeah.
the taxes are going up,
Absolutely.
and it'll go up to, it might be 0.21, it might be 0.22. It's at least going to be 0.22.
We'll go through another cycle. We'll, between now and the November vote, actually we'll go through
Two.
two.
Yeah.
Yeah. It could be as low as 0.2.
Yeah. So
Now, what would if there was a merger? What would happen with the staff down there? Could they be absorbed? So
With
they
the
would
what?
the staff
The staff.
Oh,
at
the
Fort
staff.
Myers Beach.
Yeah.
I don't know what happens to the commissioners. I think
Well,
that goes away.
Yeah.
The
But
staff.
we would offer both staff.
there's two people that work on the
I
beach.
know, I know,
We'd
but I
offer them
know-
jobs.
Yeah.
I don't know if they would be working here on Fort Myers Beach, but we would offer them jobs.
Yeah.
And then
Absolutely.
the thing that I was reading is people were uncomfortable about what would happen with the land that they occupy, that they got for, what was it,
Well, there's a-
$10 from the
Yeah,
women's
there's a little
club, right?
I don't know that the land would go to the county. I don't think the county wants to be on the beach.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
If it comes to us, I'll probably just turn it over to the county,
town.
somebody.
Yeah, I think the
Or to
women's
town. To the
town.
town.
well,
Yeah.
the women's
The
club
women's club.
sold that property. From what I understand, the women's club sold the property to the mosquito control district for $10.
Woo.
And so I think they would want that property back if
I would
possible.
think.
Yeah, and you don't. Well, I
You
didn't.
don't
mean,
want the
but you don't want.
What
to
am
be
I
in a
go- what am I
hurricane
gonna?
zone.
Did you see what was left
Yes.
of them after that hurricane?
Yes.
well,
What-
that's
what am-
what I wanted
What
you
am
to
I going to do?
Right.
I can't land a helicopter there because there's
Yeah.
people all around. I can't build anything there because I don't think we've seen our last hurricane
No.
here in Southwest Florida.
Bite
So the
your tongue,
folks that
bro.
are
Bite
saying
your
it's a
tongue.
land grab, that is not it.
No.
Land
Not
grab.
from us,
I know
it's-
why are people saying a land grab. Where does that come from?
We
To
don't.
grab the land
Yeah.
that the mosquito control district has, I'm guessing. I'm not, I'm
There
just
are- there
are- anybody's
reporting what I've
If
heard.
anybody's going to grab the land at Seagate, it's not going to be.
Well,
Oh.
but from that perspective, I just want to
Wow.
share that the county, when we kind of mosquito control district, we have a number of what we call LZs or landing zones throughout the county, and that's not a
That's
feasible
not even an
site.
option
No.
either.
No, it's
Yeah.
not.
So I guess the big question too is, so the taxpayers on Fort Myers Beach are paying 0.11,
Mhm.
and so either you're going to increase the amount of the contract and their taxes are going to go up,
Right.
or there's going to be a merger in 2020, taxes are going to go up,
Right.
right? Eventually,
Or they could do it on their own and the taxes are going to go up because they'd have to buy all this equipment.
there's no way the taxes
Well,
are
I'm
going to be
just
lower
saying.
than 0.22 if they have to buy a $5 million
Right.
helicopter,
No,
right? I mean, that's insane.
I mean, I'm not speaking for them.
Right.
I don't work for
And
them.
at first,
But-
by the way,
But the mathematics of it would suggest.
Right.
Right. There's a number of infrastructure things that we've listed and we discussed. Not only is it a new building they would require to have built, and there's all kinds of things that they have operational cost wise, and that's their judgment. That's up to people for Myers Beach
Yeah.
and the board of supervisors for mosquito control on the beach. That's their decision. We're just here to help facilitate the opportunity if the public wants
If
to do
the
that.
public here wants it.
That's all we're really here for.
do you think the public should want it, Brian? Is it going to be better service, even though it might cost a little more mosquito wise, if you take it over?
That's not my judgment. I mean, from my perspective, personally, I think the people of Fort Myers Beach have been operating this system for many, many years, and that's their judgment. I mean,
No, I didn't, Brian,
Yeah,
but I'm asking you, okay, David, do you think it's going to be better service if you take it over?
I'm the director. I am absolutely forced to say yes to that question. So that's a loaded question.
Why?
I would say,
You can't just be honest.
I'm
He's
you
being
know,
funny.
those guys,
Oh,
I don't know them. I don't know what their routine is.
Right.
They may be out there every day digging through every nook and cranny on Fort Myers. They may be doing fantastic work. If we merge,
Right.
we'll have an opportunity to find out because we'll offer them jobs if they want to work for us. I think we do stellar mosquito control.
Mhm.
Our people, they're well trained, they're educated, they got plenty of CEU opportunities. We do everything that we can to educate them. We equip them well. They have some of the best gear and equipment out there. So
Mhm.
I think we do a great job.
okay. So the service, it's hard for you to read whether your service would be better or not. Is that what you're saying?
I'll just say
Your
this
guy
way.
out there is saying
I'll-
he's
I'll just say this. We have a world-class mosquito control district. Okay, there's people from all over the United States and other parts of the world who come and look at what we do
really.
on a regular
Yes.
basis
That's
and
absolutely
how
true.
efficient that we are. If far be it for me to say, is it better than what they're doing here on the beach? It's not our judgment. We're doing the best we are doing because we're a great operation. I have great talent. I have great staff. And I think there's a number of people here that really want to go through and see that continue. If that's the choice they make, that's what they choice.
So
they
if you were Brian,
No,
Go ahead,
that what was that report? The ball.
Opaga,
Balmora,
Balmoral.
Balmoral. Yep.
They sort of indicated that, I mean, they were using a lot of May and should be considered that it would be
right.
more efficient.
Yep.
And service delivery would be improved. But they also put in that report that the customers here that they spoke to were happy with the service they were getting on the beach. So,
Yeah.
you know,
I don't feel like I moved the ball down the road at all here. If you were to give advice to the people on Fort Myers Beach, what would you say to them?
I say it makes good sense to merge.
Okay.
All right. Here's the thing. They have to rebuild at some point an operations center, a headquarters.
Yep.
They're going to be rebuilding right on the beach. We're 20 something miles inland. We had some damage from Ian, but it wasn't catastrophic. We were up in the air the next day. We've got the infrastructure and support to do this really well.
Is it make
I'm laughing
it's
at
very
all of
distracting
the-
what's
yeah.
going on. I'm so focused on mosquitoes and these people behind us are having so much fun. No, so oh shit, I forgot what I was going to say now. Oh, so what happens to all the dead
Welcome to
mosquitoes?
my
Where do
world.
all the dead mosquitoes go when you kill them? They just float around in the ponds.
This is
and
the
stuff?
dumb
They decay
questions.
and their little souls go to hell.
Okay, I mean,
Yeah.
is there any way that you could make them go away forever and there will never be another mosquito?
Well, a nuclear war would probably alleviate that. For
You're
a
not
short while.
advocating for that, are you? Because
No, not yet.
we're certainly not
No.
going to
No,
merge
no,
with
no.
you. If
I will
that's-
say that I spent a Sunday afternoon in Nagasaki, Japan.
I
It's a
love
city,
Nagasaki.
city in the valley.
Yeah.
And I was looking at all the old Soviet statues and stuff to the barbarity of the United States, etc. And I was sitting there and I was thinking, you know, this atom bomb went off 6,000 feet straight above it, so it was scorched earth to the maximum. I'm sitting there. It's August. I'm in my shorts. Something itches on my leg. I look down. There's Aedes albopictus biting me on the leg. All right.
Of course, I knew it was going to
the
be that one.
mosquitoes survived. I mean, they'll
Even a
come back.
nuclear bomb.
So let me just ask, as far as, so if someone gets, like, how do you coordinate with the Department of Health if there's an issue and?
Actually, the Department of Health reports to mosquito control
Yeah, they
on,
report
on a-
us.
on a regular basis. We actually have staff come to our commissioner meeting once a month and give us a monthly report, but they actually work with our staff on a daily basis.
And then if someone had a mosquito-borne illness, then do you go to where their house is and do an extra spray or?
We do.
There's
We
a whole
survey.
process for that. But
Yeah.
Dr. Hull can talk about that.
So, doctor, are you a doctor of mosquitoes or are you a regular?
Yeah,
Oh, he's
I've
got
got
his
a- I've-
doctorate in.
I've PhD in entomology, And as one of my professors told me, is any doctor of entomology, if he's a good doctor, he kills all his patients. So that's what we do.
So when you're out with your family, out to dinner, and you're sitting around out, and maybe it's an outdoor restaurante, and you see a mosquito on the table, can you identify the breed of that mosquito just by looking at it?
Most of the time, if there's enough light, I can, or at least tell what genus it is. Yeah.
That's some
Very
crazy
important
shit
question
right there.
for just everybody in general. According to you, what is the best mosquito repellent people could use?
Good old fashioned American made DEET. If
Okay.
it has
DEET.
DEET in it, it's been around since the 50s.
But
There's a few others that are pretty good. Picaridin and IR.
that one. That's the one I had. That's good too.
That's pretty good as well.
Yeah.
And then there's the natural stuff that have lemon oil or geraniol in it. And those give me rip-roaring headaches, and they last for about 2 hours, I think.
Oh, my
What
God.
about the no-see-ums? Is there anything you can do about those?
Well, our adulticide spray does kill them.
Okay.
We are not structured to do that. Or
It just sort of happens. It's just a side effect.
The side effect of mosquito control is it knocks the adults down. The problem with no-see-ums is the immature stages are breeding in the earth. And if we tried to spray for larvicide like we do mosquitoes, it wouldn't do anything because they're like little worms, tiny microscopic worms. They're below the surface of the earth, and the insecticide can't get to them.
Those things get you, you will lose your mind.
I remember my question from before. So
Well, everybody hold and pause.
Are you, David, are you more likely to raise the rate of the contract on Fort Myers Beach or cancel it?
Yeah, I'd like to give everybody a fighting chance. If we cancel, then and Fort Myers Beach remains separate, then they have to go out to some commercial provider to spray. And we did hire a commercial company out of the Manatees, Sarasota County area back when COVID was going on, because we fly our pilots to our aircraft at night. You're thinking we have 6 pilots. So one of them gets sick and he doesn't know it yet. And then he's talking to the others sitting right next to it.
Right.
We've already lost 2 pilots. So we contracted it out. And it for the adult mosquito spray, it costs about 1.5 times what it cost us to spray with our people.
Okay. So
it could go up.
Okay. So I don't think you answered my question though.
Yeah.
I thought I did.
He said he would wants to give them a chance.
You lost me on the COVID part of it.
No. What happens is, what he was saying is, it's a situation where we could do the work, but if they wanted to do it themselves and our contract was canceled, for instance, they'd have to hire outside services to provide that, which would be 1.5 times higher than what they were paying.
So the bottom line is the Fort Myers Beach residents are going to pay more after this season. After this budget season, they are going to pay more no matter what. You're not going to give them $60,000 next year, correct?
They give us $60,000, and then what we're going to do next year is we're going to take it to $80,000. We say we need to cover our costs, guys.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay. That's black and white. You're going to $80,000. So taxes will go up unless they cut the budget. To keep
But
it
they're
at
not going to
0.11.
cut that budget.
No,
Yeah,
not their budget. Unless they cut their budget,
right.
it's going to go up. If they're going to keep the expenses the same.
Right. But we know that with everything that happened to the mosquito control district down here, that it's not likely that the budget will be cut and or stay the same, because all the operating expenses of just operating the business, because they're in temporary facilities and all that kind of stuff, it's not likely going to stay the same.
Right.
All right, I'm going to ask maybe a stupid question.
You sure you don't want to write that down? Let me ask it.
Let you ask it. Yeah. So the map as it stands now, why does it include, or does it have to include, the Estero Bay Preserve? Because would the Fort Myers Beach district just be able to do their own, just the island, rather than the burden of that?
Would you like me to answer that?
Yeah, go ahead.
Those areas were determined years and years ago when the district were set up. So there's those geographical areas. There's a survey. There's a determined area, and they would have to go through and modify that. That was part of the original legislative ordinance to create that. So that would have to be changed. You can't just take it out, They're
Because that's a
responsible for it.
big area, and
Yeah.
that seems like, is the majority of the expense from mosquito control there or the beach?
Well, I think primarily,
Is that a good question? Because I kind of
Well,
stumped
I don't
you there a
know
little
because
bit.
I don't work for Fort Myers Beach Mosquito.
Well, I'm
Control. I
sure-
don't
Well,
know what
just
they.
in
I don't.
general, would an area similar to, because there's a lot of marshy areas over there.
Yeah.
I think that you're trying to serve the people, right? So I think you're trying to do the right thing for the people, the residents. So it's not necessarily the marsh per se, but you have to treat the marsh to protect the people.
Right, right.
We're in a people protection business. That's
Yeah,
what
but
we're
would
about.
they give it to you and then they just take care of the island?
I have no idea.
Okay.
But if they wanted to, they'd have to run it through the legislature.
Right.
To change
Got
that.
So the last question
Yep.
is, if you wanted to play politics with this,
Yeah.
and get on Adam's good side and get this thing through and get this as part of the Lee County Mosquito Control District, you would say we're canceling the contract because you're not paying what you should be paying. You haven't been paying. Is that something that you would ever do?
There's no politics playing. I mean, there's
Oh, come on, Brian.
no, this is
He
this,
does
I'm not saying you're not.
No,
I'm not
no,
saying you guys
no,
are. I'm not saying
no,
that at all. But come on.
I think that this is
You don't think Adam's playing politics?
no. I don't actually. I don't think so.
Okay, how does that save? How does 1.11, if we're being honest, save the taxpayers anywhere in the state of Florida any money? It's so small. It's such a minor thing. But he's on this kick, and I'm not criticizing him. He is on this kick to try and condense these special districts all over the state.
Right, and that's
How does that saving money?
That's a
Well-
policy decision that he's working towards.
Oh,
Yeah.
And if that's effective, that's effective. If it's not, it won't pass.
OPAGA.
Yeah.
Was hired or told by the Florida legislature to do a review of mosquito control districts, fire districts, water districts, hospitals,
Mhm.
special districts. And part of the scope of their work was to reduce duplication and consolidate expenses.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's in there.
Yeah, it would,
And
it's
efficiency.
So on the Fort Myers Beach side, it seems so minuscule, but I guess I get it. I guess, I mean, you're already doing it everywhere. They don't have a helicopter. They don't have a plane. If there's one bad year of mosquitoes and you're not there to help out with that, there's people on the beach are going to get bitten up like crazy, right? I mean,
Yeah.
So Brian, you would advise people to vote yes, would you?
I would advise people to vote yes because overall, like I said, we have a world-class facility, we have a world-class staff, and we're going to provide better service.
Okay.
And in the end, that's what is happening.
And it might cost a little more.
But I mean, we have to remember that millage when you're talking about the valuation of a particular millage and how much it's costing a year. Right now, if it's 0.11 mils, which is 11 cents per thousand, right? If it's 11 cents per thousand, so if it's a $500,000 home, how much is it? You know, it's $50, $60.
Yeah.
You know, if it's for Lee County, it may be $80 to $90. Okay, and when you're talking about value, that's the differential.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Anything else you want the people on Fort Myers Beach to know about your district? We'll stay on top of it. I mean,
We have our board meetings the fourth Thursday, right, Brian?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, fourth Thursday of every month at
this
10
coming-
o'clock.
This coming Thursday.
Of course, the public's always welcome.
you get a lot of public comment at the mosquito control district
We
meetings?
don't unless we are trying to acquire some land like we did on Pine Island 6 years ago for a new heliport, and then half the island showed up with forks and pitchforks and torches.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sweet.
So
All right. Well, we thank you guys for coming on. Single
My
member
pleasure.
district, yes or no?
Yes,
All
absolutely.
right.
Yeah.
Single member district.
Yeah.
Another raise your hand there. All right. Thank you guys for our
Bye, guys.
friends Brian
Thank you.
and David for talking about mosquitoes. And I know some people might think that's not important, but it is important. I'm fascinated by mosquitoes. I have a bug zapper, a giant bug zapper. So I just put the friggin' bug zapper on. I think I killed one of our pets once with the bug zapper. It's so big in the back. All right, before the freaks from the women's club come on to tell you about what's going on with the Putt Pub, because I'm sure they haven't been drinking today, I want to tell you about Parrot Key, the waterfront dining at Salty Sam's Marina. It's island time all the time at Parrot Key. You know, they used to be the biggest Green Bay Packer bar in the area until they sucked a giant egg in the playoffs. I don't know if it's worse to see your team go 14-2 with a washed-up quarterback like Minnesota, or just be 0-14 and not have to worry about the playoffs. I mean, what's worse? You get your expectations up and then you lay a giant egg in the playoffs? 0-14. Now, we weren't 0-14. It would have been better, though. And I bet you thought I lost my place, Dave. Parrot Key, twin lobster tails for Sunday dinner and Sunday brunch. They're great. Frank Torino performs every Thursday and Saturday night. And they have car shows that happen the first and third Monday each month through April. Check them out at myparrotkey.com. That's myparrotkey.com. And I want to let you know that the Root Shrimp is open, everybody, on Estero Boulevard, right next to Norm's Beach parking lot. The current hours are Thursday through Sunday, 11 a.m. to sunset, with expanded hours coming up at the end of this month. Live music on Saturday and Sunday afternoons, weather permitting. Come soak up the island vibe and enjoy no-licious grinds inspired by the flavors of the North Shore, that is Hawaiian fusion cuisine. Of course, they have rude tacos, rude burritos, and rude macaroni and cheese. And our last sponsor of today is Jorge Barrera. Unlock the door to your dream home, that is, with Realtor Jorge, where knowledge, experience, and integrity come together and elevate your real estate journey. Jorge is dedicated to providing personalized guidance, ensuring you make informed decisions every step of the way. Jorge's cell phone number, he could be on the golf course right now, out here somewhere on the beach, 239-791-9893, 239-791-9893. You know, talking about mosquitoes might not seem like a big deal until they're in your backyard and they're biting on your ass. Then you want to know who to call and make sure that the service is taken care of right away. I'm sort of afraid to invite these next guests on the show right here, but ladies and gentlemen, the Pink Ladies from the Fort Myers Beach Women's Club are getting ready to join us to tell us, oh boy, what's going on. I'll tell you what, the crowd was crazy out there. What's going on, Mary?
Oh my gosh. Well, we are in the 13th annual Putt Pub.
That's
a good start, right?
Yes.
I'm just here for moral support. You know that.
And
looking
so,
good.
so our crew has been doing this since 2016 when it was first, it was like the 5th year right after Larry and Paula Kiker started it.
Wow, I didn't know they started this.
They absolutely started this.
Lori and Paula
Larry
Kiker.
and Paula.
Larry and Paula.
Larry Kiker.
Why they said Laura?
I don't know. Because you're drinking Blue Moon.
How did you know that?
I saw the
It doesn't
orange.
change. It's the same every week.
13th annual. What are you laughing at over there? Knock it off. And so you guys had a big registration at Bayside Park. You had all the charities down there with big baskets. So what happens to those baskets after the registration?
Well, they're going to get moved over here for, they're going to get moved over here for the after party at, I think, 5:30. I don't know. You maybe know
around
this
5 or
better than me.
5 o'clock-ish.
Then they're going to pull the winners. But every ticket that's in each of the 9 profits that are at each hole gets reimbursed on each ticket they have in there. So if you like a nonprofit, put 400 tickets in there. That's
what
what I
hell
think.
is in your head, lady? What is going on with this?
They're the beauty school dropouts.
School dropout.
Oh, is
We're
this?
Greece.
Oh, this is a Greece thing. Gotcha. All
Welcome
right.
to the party, Ed.
All right, now I'm
Yep,
getting it.
yep,
Now I'm getting it.
yep.
So yeah, I saw the mayor was dressed up like a woman, or he had
Get a
some.
mullet.
He had a great mullet.
It was a mullet. It looked like what was the mayor and what was their foursome?
We're not
of?
here to talk about the mayor,
Oh,
Ed.
sorry about that. That'll be tomorrow. So rude.
But
So
I
mean to
really
me.
don't know.
Keeping you on task.
Yeah.
Just keeping you on task.
But I like the mayor. His costume is amazing and his mullet is good.
Yes. So the holes are. Tell us where they are.
Oh,
Come
okay.
on.
I'm going to go from memory. She's going to finish the rest.
There's one here
Nervous
by Lottie
Nellies,
Da.
Snug. I got to go in order. Snug Harbor, Nervous Nellies, Wahoo Willies, Snug. Or I said Snug. Nervous Matanzas,
Top, yep. Peter's Upper Deck.
Margaritaville, Peter's Upper Deck,
Oh, I missed that one.
Laola,
I walked over
and
there.
Yucatan and
SOBs.
Lighthouse.
and
Lighthouse.
And there's one more.
I think
you
I got
missed
them
it.
all.
No,
Did you? Is there one at Diamond Head?
no,
Nope.
no.
They're
That's
all
kind of
super
far.
close.
Oh, I
think
thought
I
there
got
was
them all.
something going on
So
at Diamond
Laola,
Head today.
Nervous Nellies, Wahoo Willies, Snug Harbor, Margaritaville, Tiki Bar at the Lighthouse, Petey's Upper Deck, Yucatan, SOBs.
Oh yeah, they are super close together.
Yeah.
They're super
Awesome.
close.
Yeah, it's actually nice.
And so, how many teams do you have?
We have 62 registered and I think 12 sponsorships.
Wait, did you say 62?
Yeah.
62 teams of 4.
Or 6 or 8. Some of them
Oh,
are
okay.
bigger.
And how much money did they pay to register?
$300.
And so you have this giant pot of money, and then what do you do with the money after?
So the women's club does sponsorship sharing, so if we have sponsorship money left over after we pay all the bills, then for the Putt Pub, we give up to $2,500 extra to every nonprofit that participates. And we do that with the Christmas Tree Festival as well. So I don't know how much we're going to have left. I haven't paid the bills yet, Ed.
All right. I'm sure it's going to be a lot with 62 teams and all that money. So you're dangerously close to me. It's like we're so close.
You're afraid I'm going to light wrestle you.
No. Well, no. Last time. What did you say? Light wrestle me?
Light wrestle.
No, you
Tackle
body
you?
slammed me last time that we were this close. So that's why I'm afraid.
That's fair.
No, so the event over here the awards will be over here. You have Margaritaville has a DJ from 2 to 6 on the stage. We're going to be emceeing the awards, and then you have a band who you set up.
Corey Tyler Moore.
No relation to Mary Tyler Moore, right?
Not that I know
You
of.
guys remember Mary Tyler Moore, right? I'm sure the kids around here don't, right? So, do you remember Mary Tyler Moore? Oh, sorry,
Is Mary Tyler Moore Minnesota?
I don't know.
She's Minnesota. There's a statue of her in St. Paul or Minneapolis.
Gotcha. And so the awards will be given out for what?
Best name, best score, second best score,
Best costume, and the Duffers.
The Duffers.
Ooh, in sync.
What does the Duffers mean?
The
That's like-
worst.
Oh, I see. I watched some of the golfing going on at some of the holes. You really are going to take those scores seriously?
Absolutely.
I saw
We're
Mike
not gonna
Miller
win.
out
We're
there.
not
and it's
gonna
like,
win.
Well, I think he won last year.
he was taking like 15 shots and
He
then
bought a lot
marking
of
a 3
mulligans.
He got a
down.
lot of
You gotta
mulligans,
get
which
your
Oh, I
goes
see.
back to that
I
goes
see.
back to
It's all
The
about the money.
donation to the nonprofits.
Very nice. And is there a list of the nonprofits that you want to talk about where money's going to be donated to? Just segue and right in one.
I could
wait,
say it.
and
Okay,
then we got to talk about
the Fort
this.
Myers Beach Community Foundation, the Chamber of Commerce, FMB Strong, Friends of Lovers Key, Friends of the Library, the PTO, local PTO on the island, Friends of the Mount House, the Lions, and FMB Revival.
All right. So you'll kind of distribute the money evenly to all those different charities.
Whatever tickets
Awesome.
they end up in their baskets, they
is theirs.
They get reimbursed for that, and then whatever we have up to $2,500 per participating nonprofit, we donate back to them.
And I want everybody to know that the women's club does not discriminate. Dudes can join the women's club. I am in the women's club.
Ed's a dude.
That's right. You should join the women's
For
club,
sure.
and your main responsibility will be volunteering. So go to wc.org.
FMB WC
hyphen-
FMB -WC.org.
And you can register. It's $100 a year.
It's right now seasonal $30. You don't get voting rights, but as of March 1st, it'll be $70 a year.
$70 a year, and it's a great cause. And they're trying to rebuild their building on Sterling.
Yes, Sterling.
And you might have more property coming up soon, but that's a whole different conversation that we just had.
I hope we have more.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah.
You got $10 in your pocket, and you
Yeah,
can
I'd
buy
like
some
to
new
know,
property
yeah.
over there. So,
I've been
All right.
asking about that.
all right, where will people be able to find the women's club's hole? Where is that? Is that one at
We don't have a whole.
Oh,
we're just
cool.
we're just the organizing
walking around?
organization.
All right, do we want to talk about this thing that Dawn left back here, or what's going on with this?
Well, I think that is going to be for a live auction
Okay, live auction.
afterwards.
It's a big giant. This is some kind of
Two of them.
golfing.
It's a pair of them.
What is that called? A golfing? What is that called?
Bag.
It's called a golfing bag.
Bag.
There are no golf clubs
It's a
in
bag.
it. It's a bag.
Club bag. Club bag.
All right. Well, thank you guys for coming on, and
Do you wanna
thank
vote
you
for us?
for everything, and a big hand for our friends from the. Wait!
can
Don't
I-
clap yet.
I
Yes.
can't. I gotta hold it up. You gotta talk.
What? What are you holding up?
She's going to show our QR code if you want to vote for us so that we win best costume
Oh, you can vote.
or best
Oh, you
name.
got to get it up. You can put it right in front of that camera. Just don't knock the camera over.
That's good.
Right there. Perfect. You can scan that QR code. Women's Club. They're from the movie Grease. And what was the girl's lady's name that they're dressed as? What was her name? No, the other one.
Sandy.
Yeah,
Rizzo.
yeah, Rizzo. Didn't she
Rizzo.
died lately?
Who's? I'm Frenchie.
I see.
Frenchie and
Very nice.
there's
Well, I
one
have
more.
to talk about the beauty school dropouts
Yes.
because this
How
is
about
very
you guys
important
sing
to
that
me.
song?
That would-
School dropped.
You don't want to lose your.
So we have my
Nobody's watching anyway.
85-year-old mom and my 89-year-old mother-in-law
Wow,
who come
awesome.
every year to participate
come
Very
from
nice.
Minnesota, and they
80.
love it. It's
Very
So
nice.
we've been
Yeah.
Sesame Street. We
Oh,
have been The Wizard of Oz. We have been, what have we?
Gilligan's Island.
Gilligan's
Who
Island.
comes up with the idea for the new get up every year? Who is
Well,
it?
it's a collaboration.
Gotcha.
But we've
Awesome.
been doing this since 2016, and we love this event,
Yes.
and it's why I couldn't
It's
work
warmed
today.
our
I just had, or I couldn't volunteer today. I just
Yeah.
had to
Yeah, it's a drinking
come
day.
see you.
You had to
Yeah.
play today.
Today's a drinking day, everybody. Oh, very
And
cool.
if you haven't checked out the holes and you haven't checked
Yeah.
out the teams, it's good people watching. I mean,
Yeah,
and
priceless people
I have
watching.
to say, I did a video this morning. The hole here at Margaritaville is a difficult one. I would say that's one of the more difficult ones. The easiest one I think I saw was where was that? The one at the lighthouse is pretty hard. But there was one super easy one. It was like this far apart. So, and the one at
When you
Lowell is
have-
fairly easy.
When you have 300 people going through
Yes.
that many holes in 6 hours, they need to be a little
Some
simple.
of them need to be.
Joanne, Olivia Newton-John got a foul. She threw it off.
Foul.
She threw it off, and they gave her a 7. And
Wow.
unless we bought a mulligan, we're like, well, we're going to be best costume, not
Yes.
best hole.
Right. You're not going to win for the lowest score. That's for sure.
So vote for us.
All right. Well, thank you guys. We'll see you out on the course today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks
Big
for all
hand
that
for our
support.
friends from the Fort Myers Beach Women's Club. Thank you guys, and we'll see you out there. We'll see you tonight also. And before we let you all go, we want to invite our friend Bob over. Bob, come on around this way, Bob. You're going to come around, yeah, just watch the wires. Go around the speaker, Bob. Go around the speaker, and we're going to watch. Yeah, just watch the wires, everybody. I have no idea how to set up anything. We're going to introduce you to our friend Bob from Cincinnati, who comes down to Fort Myers Beach. I think he comes down. He used to come down a couple of times a year, and he used to meet us at Pete's Timeout when we were doing the show at Pete's Timeout, because he met Karen. If you remember Karen, she would sell the sunglasses across from Pete's Timeout, and they became good friends. And Bob is oh, you should have put your shirt on, man. I didn't want to see your boobs. And he's going to be 60 years old on Monday, and so happy birthday, Bob.
Yeah,
And Bob is a big
How
Cincinnati.
long have you been coming to the beach?
39 years.
39 years.
I didn't know it was that many
Wow. Wow.
Why 39 years and why Fort Myers Beach? How did you find Fort Myers Beach, Bob?
One of my friends from Cincinnati used to come down every year, and I wanted to come down 39 years ago.
Wow.
So my friend brought me.
Well, those friends will get you in trouble too, though. So your friends brought you down here all those many years ago, and then you've been coming down ever since. Once or twice a year?
Right.
Twice a year. Lucky you.
And last year you came down on your birthday, huh?
The hurricane.
Yeah. I remember you came down and you said you saw what you saw, and you said you're never coming back because
Yeah.
it bugged you so much, but you couldn't stay away.
Nope.
And last year I bought you a pass to the pool on your birthday, and you were out there gawking at all the pretty women, you pervert, right? And what happened last year? What happened? You broke your foot somehow?
Yeah, I broke my foot in October, so I had to wear a long boot for 3 months.
You had to wear a boot for 3 months. So how'd you break your foot?
Oh, don't go into that.
What happened? What'd you do?
Yeah.
Why? Were you clumsy or something? What happened? Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go with that.
Now you have to tell me after the show. You never told me how he broke his foot. Yeah.
He was being silly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I know.
you were
I
hanging
know.
out at the lighthouse last night because your friend took you down to the
Yeah.
lighthouse, and the
Yeah.
chicks were hitting on you the whole time, right?
No, they won't leave you alone.
And Bob is a
They
big
leave him alone, that's for sure.
Cincinnati Bengals fan, and Is this the wheelchair that the Bengals, the Cincinnati Bengals team gave you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
20 years ago.
20 years ago.
Wow.
Was that Boomer Esiason? Was he the quarterback back then, or
No,
was
it was Neil Rogers.
Neil Rogers?
The kicker.
Oh, he's a kicker.
He's the one that got the wheelchair.
That's cool.
Together.
Yeah.
But the quarterback was Carson Palmer.
Carson Palmer. Was that before Boomer or after?
After Boomer.
Oh, after Boomer. Yeah.
Pull it
Cool.
together.
Sorry. He knows everything about it. Who are you rooting for in the Who do you want to be in the Super Bowl, Bob?
I want Buffalo.
You liar. You just changed that. You are such a liar because I said I wanted Buffalo and you changed it, didn't you? You jackass. You totally changed it. You said you hated Buffalo.
I want Baltimore.
Baltimore.
And the Rams.
All right, Baltimore and the Rams. That's what you told me before the show, and now you changed it. I caught you in a lie there, bro. All right, well, what are you doing for your birthday?
Going to be down here
All right.
enjoying the sun.
Monday
Hopefully.
is the 60th birthday, and you're in great shape for 60, man. But doesn't everything hurt all the time? No? Or maybe it's just me.
No,
I feel good.
Yeah. How many
he would
push-ups can
never
you do?
complain.
No, he never complains.
There's no reason to.
That's right. There's no reason to.
All right.
You are like a liar.
What? You call me?
You are like a complainer.
I'm a complainer. Listen, get off my show. Will you go put your shirt back on? All right. Happy birthday, Bob. Thanks for coming down. We love having you down here. All right, everybody.
All right, see you later.
Before we go, I did want to say one more thing. I want to thank everybody who donated yesterday. It was insane.
Is that close? Because I gotta leave.
Yes. If you want to donate, they have to go on the website for Guardians of the Guardians website. I was hoping to raise $2,000 for that dog, but you can never go wrong with dogs and pets. Dogs and kids. My daughter's not a pet. I didn't mean it like that. You can never go wrong with dogs and kids when you're doing a fundraiser. And we raised $7,500 to help that dog with her vet bills. And the dog was shot with a shotgun by somebody, and I hope that person goes through that same kind of treatment. In Dade County, I think, is where it took place. It was funny. Last week when I first put the picture up of the dog's name is Honey, Lee County Sheriff's Department always monitors our page, so they wanted to know right away what happened so that they could try and track down who did that. But it happened in Dade County, and the Guardians folks, the place is on behind the fire, the volunteer, I don't know if it's volunteer, the firehouse on Daniels, and I'm forgetting the name of the road. But I went down there yesterday to drop off the check, and there are a lot of dogs over there if you want to go down. Having an event next week that we'll post on our Facebook page, but we were expecting $2,000, which would have been nice because the vet bills that were estimated at $12,000 with all the surgery she has to have, and we raised $7,500, so it'll help out. So that gives them about $9,000 total for that one puppy there, and she's running around. I didn't even think she'd be able to walk on those legs, but she's running around, and for some reason now she's got 3 fingers left, or whatever you call them on a dog, 3 toes on the one leg. And it's like, when you see a dog treated like that, or any animal treated like that, you just want to kill somebody. That's the first thing you think. But thank you to all the donations, $7,500, and we'll keep you posted on how she's doing in the next few weeks. All right, everybody, thanks for joining us. Thanks for coming out. It's the 13th annual Fort Myers Beach Women's Club Putt Pub right here on the beach. So come on down. The award ceremony will be behind us on the stage, and we'll be back tomorrow live with a Sunday brunch with the mayor from Wahoo Willie's. Thank you all, and bye-bye.